When you reach your 60s, chances are a warm bowl of oatmeal has become part of your morning routine, comforting, simple, and praised as heart healthy. But have you ever wondered what if that very bowl is quietly putting extra strain on your kidneys? I've had more than a few patients tell me, "Doctor, I thought I was eating healthy, but my lab results showed my kidneys are overloaded." And that's exactly what I want to talk with you about today. At this stage of life, your body no longer processes minerals, potassium, or protein the way it once did. If we don't adjust, what we see as a health food can slowly turn into a burden. That's why in this video, I'll walk you through 8 common mistakes people over 60 often make with oatmeal. Once you understand them, oatmeal can go back to being a source of comfort instead of a hidden worry for your kidneys. Now, everyone knows oatmeal is famous for being the golden food for heart health, rich in fiber, stabilizing blood sugar. I've recommended it myself to many patients. But working with people in their 60s and beyond, I discovered something that often goes unnoticed. Our kidneys simply don't have the same resilience anymore. I remember one patient, a 68-year-old woman who ate a big bowl of oatmeal every single morning, believing she was doing her body a favor. Yet her blood work showed elevated phosphorus. Her bones were starting to weaken, and her kidneys were straining. She looked at me in shock and asked, "What did I do wrong?" "All I eat is oatmeal." The truth is, too much phosphorus can leach calcium from your bones and harden your blood vessels. Too much potassium can trigger irregular heartbeats, muscle weakness, even cardiac arrest. And excess protein, while vital in moderation, speeds up kidney decline. Have you ever stopped to think that something good can turn into a problem when your body changes? After 60, what once worked for you may need fine-tuning. And that awareness, that ability to adapt, is what helps us not just live longer, but live healthier, more peacefully. So let's dive into the first mistake. And it might surprise you, it's about sugar. Picture your morning oatmeal. You add a spoon of brown sugar, maybe some honey, maybe even maple syrup to make it easier to eat. Sounds harmless, right? But after 6 decades, each spoonful acts like grains of sand, building up quietly, pushing your blood sugar and cholesterol out of balance. One of my colleagues, now 65, used to pour generous amounts of honey into her oatmeal every morning. She thought it's natural, it can't hurt. A few years later, she was diagnosed with pre-diabetes and only then realized her healthy breakfast had been working against her. Have you ever found yourself in that same situation where what you believed was good for you turned out to be part of the problem? Science shows us that in middle age and beyond, the body becomes far more sensitive to sugars, refined or natural. That's why I encourage my patients to lean on the subtle sweetness of fresh apple slices, ripe pear, or the warm aroma of cinnamon instead. These not only make oatmeal inviting, but they're gentler on your heart, your liver, and your peace of mind. The second mistake I often see is cooking oatmeal with cow's milk. I know it sounds odd, doesn't it? We grew up hearing milk builds strong bones. But after 60, your kidneys process those minerals very differently. Half a cup of dry oats already carries a fair load of potassium and phosphorus. Add milk on top, and you've nearly doubled the strain. For a younger kidney, no big deal. But for kidneys that have been working tirelessly for decades, it's a heavy burden. I think of Margaret, a 67-year-old patient of mine. Every morning she made her oatmeal with whole milk and topped it with bananas, proud of her healthy routine. Yet her labs came back with high potassium and phosphorus and early signs of kidney strain. When I suggested switching to unsweetened almond milk and swapping the banana for apple slices, within weeks, her numbers improved and she felt more energetic. She told me, "I never realized such a small change could make such a big difference." And that's the message I want you to take home. Sometimes it's not about whether you eat oatmeal or not, but about how you prepare it. A simple change like choosing water or plant-based milk can give your kidneys the breathing room they need after 6 decades of service. The third mistake is piling on too many toppings rich in potassium and phosphorus. I know the thought process. What's wrong with adding a banana, some walnuts, a spoon of peanut butter, and a handful of raisins? They're all healthy foods, and they are if you're 30 or 40, or if your kidneys are strong. But after 60, it's a different story. Imagine that bowl of oats already contained minerals. Then you stack on a mountain of high potassium, high phosphorus toppings. For kidneys that are slowing down, that's like asking them to carry double or triple the load. And the result, fatigue cramps, even heart palpitation symptoms that often leave people confused. I'll never forget Ellen, a 70-year-old patient who took pride in her Power Bowl breakfast every morning. Almond milk, oats, banana peanut butter walnuts, raisins, the works. Over time, she started experiencing muscle cramps and occasional irregular heartbeats. Her blood work revealed dangerously high potassium levels. With a few adjustments, swapping the banana for apple slices, trading peanut butter for a sprinkle of cinnamon, and limiting dried fruit, her energy came back. Her labs had normalized, and she felt like herself again. So let me ask you, have you ever believed more is better when it comes to healthy foods? The truth is, after 60, the secret isn't piling on more, it's knowing what to hold back. Gentle choices, mindful portions, that's what turns oatmeal back into a true ally for your health. I remember Ellen, a 70-year-old patient of mine. She used to take pride in her superfood oatmeal bowl every morning. Oats, almond milk, banana, peanut butter, walnuts, even a handful of raisins. On paper, it sounded perfect. But after just a few months, she started experiencing muscle cramps and occasional irregular heartbeats. Her labs told the story her potassium levels were way above the safe range. Once she swapped the banana for a few slices of apple, cut out the peanut butter, and kept just a sprinkle of cinnamon for flavor, her energy came back and her numbers improved dramatically. Have you ever had that moment when you thought you were doing everything right for your body, only to realize that adding more was actually making things harder after 60? The key isn't piling on as many healthy foods as possible. It's learning to be selective to practice moderation. A little low potassium fruit, a hint of natural spice that's more than enough to keep your oatmeal delicious, nourishing, and gentle on the kidneys that have carried you through a lifetime. Now, mistake number 4, and I think this one will sound familiar to many of you, is choosing instant oatmeal packets or those pre-flavored sachets. I get it. At this age, convenience matters. In just a couple minutes, you can have a steaming bowl labeled maple and brown sugar or apple cinnamon. Quick, easy, and it looks healthy. But have you ever stopped to really read that fine print on the back of the package? Those instant packets often contain a heavy dose of sodium and phosphate additives. And unlike natural phosphorus found in whole foods, these additives are absorbed almost completely into your bloodstream, sending phosphorus levels skyrocketing. That means more work for your kidneys, calcium being pulled from your bones and your blood vessels slowly hardening. And sodium. It quietly makes your body hold on to water, pushing up blood pressure and forcing both heart and kidneys to work harder. I think of Harold, a 72-year-old widower who often chose flavored instant oatmeal to save time. He felt proud of swapping out sugary cereals for something healthier. But within 2 years, his legs started swelling and he found himself short of breath on his daily walks. Tests showed elevated phosphate levels and declining kidney function. When he switched to rolled oats, cooked in water flavored simply with apples and cinnamon, his health noticeably improved. You see, convenience often comes at a cost. The real question is, are you willing to trade a few minutes of effort in the morning for years of better health ahead? After 60, the wiser choice is to embrace simplicity. A bowl of plain oats flavored naturally free of additives. That's what true long-term investment in your health looks like. Mistake number 5, and this is one many people overlook, is not reading product labels carefully. I know how it is. At the grocery store, we're drawn to those big words on the front: natural, organic, healthy. They make us feel safe, especially with oats or granola. But the truth is the most important information is tucked away in tiny print on the back, the ingredient list hardly anyone takes the time to read. Picture this: you buy a premium granola believing it'll help you live healthier. But inside are 3 or 4 different phosphate additives, plus more than 200 milligrams of sodium per serving. For aging kidneys, those hidden ingredients are a real burden, raising blood phosphorus, weakening bones, and hardening arteries. I once had a patient in Linda, age 69. She swore by premium health products, convinced that avoiding junk food was enough. But when her kidney function started to decline, she was stunned. Only after bringing the packaging to a dietitian did she realize the hidden additives and sodium were the culprits. Once she switched to homemade granola with plain oats, unsalted seeds, and a touch of dried fruit, her labs improved within months. Have you ever trusted a label only to later find out it wasn't telling the full story? After 60, the lesson isn't just about choosing good foods, it's about learning to spot the hidden dangers in the fine print. A little awareness goes a long way in protecting your kidneys and preserving long-term health. Mistake number 6, and this one's common, is eating too much oatmeal or turning it into a must-have ritual every single day. I know why it happens. Oatmeal feels like a safe bet, low in fat, high in fiber, good for the heart. So people think, why not eat a lot of it every day? But after 60, that more is better mindset can quietly overload the kidneys. Picture a big heaping bowl, maybe a cup and a half of dry oats every morning. Each serving carries potassium, phosphorus, and protein your kidneys have to process. Day after day, there's no break, no rest. Eventually, fatigue, swelling, or shortness of breath creep in. Robert, age 74, comes to mind. A former marathon runner, he was disciplined and believed oatmeal every morning was the perfect choice. He kept fit, yes, but within a year his labs revealed rising phosphorus and potassium levels and a steep drop in kidney filtration rate. He was stunned. Only when he cut back to half a cup 2 or 3 times a week did his body recover. His energy returned, the swelling eased, and his numbers stabilized. Does that sound familiar? We often believe that if something's good, more of it must be better. But after 60, the truth flips. The best things are only good in the right amounts. Moderation brings balance. With restraint, oatmeal goes back to being what it's meant to be: comforting, nourishing, and safe. Mistake number 7 is focusing only on oatmeal while forgetting about variety. I understand. Once we find a food that feels safe, we want to stick with it. Many think if I just eat oatmeal, I'm covered. But our bodies, especially after 60, need much more than that. Imagine this for a moment. You're having oatmeal every morning, sometimes even for dinner, but you're not paying much attention to vegetables, quality protein, or other nutrient-rich foods. Over time, this can create real imbalances, missing out on fat-soluble vitamins, running low on iron, or not getting enough good protein to keep your muscles strong. And as you know, after 60, our muscles aren't as resilient as they once were, which makes proper nourishment even more essential. I think back to a woman in her mid-60s proud that she was eating healthy because she had oatmeal every single day. Yet she often felt tired, her skin pale. Blood work revealed mild anemia and low B12 caused not by the oatmeal itself, but by the lack of variety in her diet. Once she began pairing her oats with steamed vegetables, a bit of fish, or even a little low-fat yogurt, her energy and health bounced back within months. Have you ever believed that one good food could take the place of a whole balanced diet? The truth is, oatmeal is just one piece of the puzzle. It's not the entire picture. After 60, the key is balanced oats combined with leafy greens, low potassium fruits, and clean proteins like fish, tofu, or boiled eggs. That's how the body stays nourished, strong and resilient for the years ahead. Now, mistake number 8, and probably the one most people overlook, is skipping regular checkups. I can't tell you how many folks I've met who say, I eat well, I exercise, so why bother seeing the doctor? It sounds logical, but the body after 60 hides changes silently, especially in the kidneys. Think about it every day. Your kidneys filter gallons of blood, clearing waste and balancing minerals. When you're young, you don't notice a thing, they're that efficient. But as the decades pass, their capacity slowly declines. The dangerous part is that this decline is often silent. No pain, no fever, nothing obvious until a blood or urine test reveals the truth. I remember James, a 71-year-old patient. He felt confident about his diet: oatmeal, fruit, daily walks. He rarely saw a doctor, convinced he didn't need to. But when fatigue finally drove him in, his tests showed advanced kidney decline and high potassium levels. Had he checked earlier, a few small changes to his diet could have protected him. Have you ever delayed a checkup simply because you felt fine? After 60, routine health screenings are no longer optional. They're your safety net, especially tests for kidney function, potassium, and phosphorus. Think of them as early warning signals, giving you the chance to adjust before problems grow serious. So treat checkups as a conversation with your body. They're not about hunting for disease. They're about making sure each habit, each meal is truly supporting your health. Because peace of mind in older age comes from small, steady acts of care. When we talk about oatmeal, most of us picture a simple, warm, heart-healthy breakfast. And that's true. Oats have earned their reputation, lowering cholesterol, steadying blood sugar, helping you feel full, protecting your heart. But after 60, our bodies aren't the same. Organs that once worked tirelessly now need more support. The kidneys, those silent gatekeepers, are especially vulnerable, which is why how we approach oatmeal at this stage matters not by cutting it out, but by adjusting the way we enjoy it. Here's what I want you to remember. Oatmeal isn't the enemy. The issue is how we eat it. Just like any other food portion and pairing are the real keys. After 60, eaten the right way, oatmeal can still nourish you. But eaten the wrong way, it can weigh down your kidneys, your heart, even your bones. Start with plain oats rolled or steel-cut, not flavored packets. Cook with water or unsweetened plant-based milk instead of cow's milk. Keep portions modest, about half a cup of dry oats, and don't feel pressured to eat it daily. Every other day or a few times a week is plenty. Choose toppings wisely. Skip the bananas, dried fruit, and nut butters that load up potassium and phosphorus. Instead, try apple slices, pears, strawberries, or a dash of cinnamon or ginger. And keep sugar to a minimum. Your body processes it very differently now. But don't stop there. Remember variety. Oatmeal can't replace vegetables, fish, tofu, eggs, or the rainbow of nutrients your body needs. And please read your labels. Don't let the words organic or healthy fool you. The truth is in the ingredients list. And above all, don't skip your checkups. After 60, they're not just check-ins, they're lifelines, early signals that help you protect your health before it's too late. Take a moment to reflect. Your kidneys have worked in silence for more than 6 decades, filtering every drop of blood, protecting you from toxins. Now it's your turn to protect them with mindful choices, moderation, and care. Oatmeal eaten wisely can remain the warm, comforting meal you love. Each spoonful becomes not just nourishment, but gratitude for the body that has carried you this far. Because in the end, aging isn't about losing, it's about living more thoughtfully. It's about slowing down, listening to your body, and honoring the quiet strength within you. Oatmeal prepared with care can be part of that journey, a small but steady companion on the path to health, peace, and resilience.